Ford High School Weekly is brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Oklahoma. And by Rib Crib, smoking good stuff since '92.
Welcome to Ford High School Weekly. I'm your host, Deion. This week, we got to meet with Jaiden Carroll, the junior running back from the Jenks Trojans. Also, my man Michael Knight will be here to talk about Week 1 and give us his latest on recruiting. And we'll wrap it up with the Ford Game of the Week coverage from Week 1. Well, let's get started with Jaiden Carroll. I talked with him before the Trojans game with Bixby.
Jaiden, how's it going, bro?
It's going good. How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. So how's things going? Practice? You just got out of practice or something?
Yes, sir. It's going good. We preparing for Bixby.
I hear you. All right. So what we like to do here is go ahead and do the pregame and kind of let the viewers get to know you a little bit. So I'll ask you a couple of questions outside of football and just go ahead and give me your answers. All right?
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. All right. My first question. All right. I know your government name is Jaiden Carroll, but what do your friends call you? What do your teammates go? How do you go by?
A lot of my friends, they call me Hollywood because it came from when I was in middle school. I went to Thoreau. So, like, after the game, I used to always be taking pictures with girls and, like, a lot of my friends and stuff. So they was calling me Hollywood for that.
All right, we about to get that thing going then. Jaiden Hollywood Carroll. All right, bet. I like that. All right, question number 2. Favorite artist to listen to before your game?
Favorite artist. I'm gonna have to go with, I guess, some Rod Wave. Get my mind right.
Okay, I feel you. I like that. That's a different type. Normally, people be going with that hardcore rap. He's kind of a little melodic with it. All right, I'm not gonna be mad at it. All right, question number 3, last. Favorite dessert to eat after dinner?
Dessert after dinner, I'm gonna have to go with the cinnamon rolls.
I'm not mad at it. I used to grow up on them CC cinnamon rolls, so I'm not mad at it at all. So I always try to start these interviews with the kind of the same question. Why do you play football?
I play football. No, this is just a way for me to make it out for my family, to help my family. You know, if I end up going D1 to college, I'll be one of the first ones to go to college out of my family. So, you know, that's big time for me, my dad, grandma. That's big time for us.
I like that. A lot of people have given me those same sentiments throughout the years, and it's one of the reasons I played as well. So what is that also your motivation at the end of the day, or is there a specific person in your family that kind of gives you that motivation to strive to be your best?
I'll have to say I look at my dad and my grandma the most. That's what motivates me. Like, my dad, he doesn't have a job. You know, it's really hard for him. So I just work my butt off to make sure, you know, when he gets older, he doesn't have to worry about anything. I'm going to be able to take care of him.
I feel you, man. You always got to play for somebody, and my pops was always there for me too. So speaking of, I mean, that kind of gets me to my next question. I mean, now that you're mentioning why you play the game and why you play so hard, your running style is man. I'd be interested to see what you think. Well, what do you think your running style is like?
I like to say I run the ball pretty hard. My coaches think I run the ball pretty hard. You know, sometimes I just get them tough yards, what you got to take.
So is there any running back that you kind of model your running style off of? Any like professionals or collegiate players that you kind of look toward that you're like, man, I want to run like that guy, and that's why you keep your feet moving like that?
I want to run like Saquon Barkley. Me personally, that's my favorite running back. So, I mean, he run the ball hard, but he also can get a little shifty at times.
Man, you know what? You kind of mirroring them right now. I've been watching some highlights here recently, especially since the last couple of weeks, and especially since you're about to be on the Ford Game of the Week. And yeah, man, you bounce off tackles pretty impressively. I know you're kind of a new addition to the Jenks Trojans. How did that come about?
When I first got here, the Trojans, they welcomed me here, made sure I was being taken care of. It was definitely different. Like, film-wise, the weight room, like, it was a lot different. And, I mean, it's a family here. You know, they make sure we all We're good. No injuries. It's a family.
I know a lot of people know you here in the state of Oklahoma for what you did last year with Booker T. Washington. So what made you want to kind of make that switch and come over to Jenks?
Well, my dad and his girlfriend moved out to Jenks, so he thought it would be a good opportunity for me. I mean, they pound the rock, facilities. Like, we thought that this would prepare me for the next level.
When we get back, we'll see what kind of college offers are coming Jaiden Carroll's way. That's next on Ford High School Weekly.
Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. We're talking to my man, Jaiden Hollywood Carroll. What's up, Hollywood?
It's good.
So now that the season is underway, I know that there's a lot of expectations, especially, running the rock for the Jenks Trojans. What are some of the expectations that you have, and what are some of the goals that you've set for yourself?
Big goal for me is 1,000 yards. I got to rush for 1,000 yards. I need it.
As far as team goals, what are some of the things that you guys have all written down or you guys have been talking about here recently?
One thing as far as our team is we gonna pound the rock, so we got to get ready for that. Make sure we good up front, good in the backfield. We gonna pound the rock.
With that being said, I mean, Jenks has been known for all their success football-wise and kind of carried the torch for Oklahoma high school football for a long time now. What have you noticed that in your short time there that kind of leads and breeds that success in their football program?
The coaches, they make sure that the players know what they're doing on the field. So, like, they can make checks and calls on their own. Besides, like, the coaches, they don't have to do it themselves. Like, the run schemes, we know that on top of our head.
Yeah, it's always impressive when you guys roll out there. It seems like it's second nature to you guys, man. Y'all get it going. I know you got a pretty good strength and conditioning coach over there. My man Nick is putting in the work. So how has it been working with him?
Nick Whitmer, he's a nice guy, man. He makes sure we all gonna put the work in. He looks out for me, makes sure all my technique is right. I believe that he's helped me get faster, stronger, and that's definitely going to improve my game this season.
Speaking of, what are some of the stuff that you did in the offseason during the summertime to kind of prepare you for your junior season?
Like with Whitmer, we did a lot of explosive speed stuff so we can break long runs, we break off tackles. So we worked a lot of explosiveness, speed.
Man, that's pretty impressive. I see the work is paying off early in this season, so hopefully it continues on that trend. But with that being said, there's a lot of people talking about you on the next level, and I know that's kind of your dreams and aspirations. So what are some of the schools that have been reaching out to you so far? Who's interested in you, and who are you interested in?
The first school that ever reached out to me was OSU. And I know you played at OSU, I've been talking OSU, Iowa State. I got some messages from Princeton. I got a visit from Notre Dame, so I've been talking to a few colleges.
Well, man, it's well deserved, and hopefully OSU is definitely one of those guys that are reaching out to you. All right, man. So the Backyard Bowl's coming up. I know everybody's been talking about that game around you and around the state of Oklahoma. Everybody knows about it. I know it's your first time playing in it. So what are you kind of looking forward to about being a part of the game?
I'm just looking forward to having a big game, a lot of rushing yards. Like you said, it's my first time playing in the Backyard Bowl, so just great experience to go out there and have fun.
I like it. So at the end of the day, what do you want to accomplish at the end of the season, my man?
At the end of the season, I want to have at least 5 Division I offers.
Well, trust me, man, I've watched the highlights and you're well on your way. So keep up the hard work, and I appreciate you joining us here, man, and we'll talk to you real soon, especially after all those offers.
Yes, sir.
Jaiden's likely to receive a lot of offers over the next few months. Next up, though, Michael Knight from Prep Red Zone will be here with recruiting news and his reaction to Week 1 of Oklahoma high school football. Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. Well, you guys know what we do every week in football season. We talk to my main man, Michael Knight from Prep Red Zone. Michael, how's it going?
Hey, we were just talking before we started. The Labor Day weekend has me feeling a little behind, but man, it's been a great start to the season. So, as always, happy to be on talking football with you.
Last week before was Week 0. This week was Week 1. What was your big takeaways?
I think you have to start with the Bixby Spartans, right? You know, continuing that winning streak at 38 games in a row now. And for the last several years, Bixby has kind of been known for their offense and their high scoring. And, you know, Braylon Presley and Brennan Presley before him and Mason Williams, you know, the trigger man at quarterback. But the biggest takeaway that I had from their win on the road against Jenks was their defense. I think they have the chance to be incredibly special on that side of the ball, especially the front seven. With defensive linemen and linebackers that they continue to rotate in. They're extremely deep at those positions. So I was actually really impressed with the defense for Bixby. They caused 4 turnovers, I believe, in that game, and that really helped them steal the win. Jenks had a really good second half rally, but a turnover there late in the final minute of the game caused Bixby to get out of there with their 38th consecutive win. So you definitely have to put some respect on their name, as if we haven't already for the last 3 years.
Well, moving on to this week, everybody knows what time of year it is. The Backyard Bowl is up and rolling, and they will be facing off on Friday against this Union team, Union and Jenks. It will be at Union at their brand new stadium. What do you think of the matchup?
I mean, it's one of the games that we look forward to every single year, right? And this matchup in particular has been right down the middle in terms of the Jenks Union matchup in the regular season for the last 10 years. Both teams are in exact 5-5. So, I mean, if that doesn't tell the story, we have decades of history that tells the story on just how special this rivalry is. In my opinion, I believe that the Jenks Union football rivalry has completely changed the landscape of Oklahoma high school football forever. I don't think that there would be a 6A2 right now if Jenks and Union hadn't combined for 20-plus consecutive state championships. I said that about a decade ago. I'll continue to say that. This rivalry is one of the best in high school football, not only in Oklahoma, but in the country. And there's a lot of articles, videos, documentaries that back up that statement.
Another big-time rivalry game going on this week. The Blankenship Bowl, his first inaugural game is this week. Both head coaches, Blankenship over there at BA, the son of Coach Blankenship in Owasso. What do you think about the matchup?
I think that Coach B has the edge. Now take it for guess who I'm talking about. But I got Owasso. I think that they're right now my number one team in 6A1. So I think that they have the talent to not only win a state championship but potentially go undefeated this year. Broken Arrow, though, is building some things pretty special there. I'm really impressed with the way their offense has started the season. Griffin Stieber, I hope I'm pronouncing that last name right. He's looked fantastic throwing the football early on. Of course, he has some weapons at Marion Horn, Robert Spears-Jennings, but he's really impressed me so far this season. So Broken Arrow is going to keep it interesting, but I got Owasso winning this edition of the Blankenship Bowl.
Well, rightfully so. Head coach and the father takes the first game. But before we get out of here, before we watch all these fantastic games, what do you have for us recruiting-wise?
Yeah, just because football started, recruiting never stops. That thing is 24/7, 365. We had some news in the last week. One of the top corners in the state in the senior class committed over the weekend. Nunu Campbell from Hall and Hall helped lead them to their first ever state championship last year. He's off to a great start for his senior season. He committed over the weekend to Tulsa. So TU able to keep one of the best senior cornerbacks here in state. Obviously, Nunu it already in town at Hall and Hall with Tulsa, so very familiar with the program. His former teammate Owen Ostrowski, now a freshman at TU as well. So Campbell going to continue that Hall and Hall pipeline to TU. Corey Taylor, a former Dutch, also former Golden Hurricane as well. So TU likes those boys from Holland Hall quite a bit, and I can't blame them, especially coming off of a state championship last year. But Nunu Campbell committing to TU, without a doubt, the biggest recruiting note in the last week.
Well, although TU suffered a devastating loss this week in that little upset, they do gain a big-time commitment from Nunu. So congratulations to him and the Golden Hurricanes. But Michael Knight, for people who want to find out more about you and Prep Red Zone, where can they find you?
Yeah, just check us out on prepredzone.com/Oklahoma. Prep Red Zone is in 35 states across the country right now. But if you're interested in Oklahoma high school football, which if you're watching this, you probably are, we encourage you to check out the Oklahoma site. And as always, you can follow us on Twitter for up-to-the-minute score updates, stories, whatever we have going at Prep Red Zone OK.
Coming up on Ford High School Weekly, check out highlights of the Week 1 Ford Game of the Week telecast.
Second and goal from the 5. Trying to get outside. Dylan Haas into the end zone. Touchdown, Bixby. They get on the board first.
Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. We finished 2 weeks of non-district play. Let's look back at Week 1's Ford Game of the Week telecast of the games featuring Millwood and Heritage Hall on Thursday and Bixby and Jenks on Friday.
Final score once again 44-16 as we go to some of our highlights from our contest here this evening. 44-18, I should say, the final score here this evening.
A lot of athletes are out on this field, and we got a chance to see a lot of them. My man Faulkner run into all these tacklers, getting to that touchdown for the first touchdown of the season over here for the Heritage Hall Chargers. It was strong running, and a lot of the play initially offensively was my man Walker at wide receiver getting some catches. But check out this kickoff return right here. Ricky Hunt, the man that strikes fear in opposing players' hearts, gets the kickoff return, returns it all the way to the end zone. 90-yard touchdown return, breaking tackles and showing off that speed. But before halftime, Freeman, the guy we highlighted earlier, not one stiff arm, but 2 stiff arm, breaking tacklers, showing off the speed, and getting into the end zone for 6 to match his jersey number. Take a look at this first touchdown by my man Faulkner. You just heard him. He got into the end zone quite a bit tonight, 4 times to be exact, and he had some great blocking to do that. You can see number 6 on the outside, Freeman helping him get into the end zone this time, going up the middle, taking the hit, and still getting the 6. And not only was it Freeman and Faulkner getting it done, but number 7 as well, Evans getting into the scoring event. Brown as well for Millwood gets that touchdown and gets them on the board. But look at my man Ricky Hunt run underneath this pass right here. It wasn't enough to get them the victory, but it was a spectacular play indeed. And Ricky Hunt is still a guy that puts fear in the hearts of opposing coaches, and he should be doing impressive things all season long. Just couldn't get the W here today.
All right, let's take a look at some of the final numbers here this evening and how it all played out. As we take a look at those numbers, all the statistical categories in favor of Heritage Hall, especially in that, well, I was going to say especially the running attack, but looks like Millwood did come back there late in the contest, so yardage maybe not as much of a differential as you would have thought.
Week number 1 is in the books. Let's take a look at our first half highlights. And pretty much all Bixby, at least in the scoring part of it. Things got rolling for them. They went 3 and out, then Jenks fumbled a punt. Bixby took 6 plays, 36 yards, and burped to Dylan Haas. Little flip pass, 7-0 on a 5-yard touchdown. And then the Bixby defense was tough.
As again, able to come up and making plays all over the field, and that's what they were doing. Now, seeing space right here, able to get that first down right there. Probably could have been a late hit. What's called? This guy right here, Carroll, was trying to get loose, really couldn't get loose. That has again a Solomon able to come in and make plays. Now you see the pressure of Bixby able to come up and make plays. And was just able to get it done all the way over the, on the field. And I mean, when you talk about defense and you have that playmaking ability that they're able to have to get in space, make plays, it makes a huge difference. And right now you have this offensive Jenks just trying to find their way, getting down close to the red zone, making some runs, but not able to put points up on the board.
Recap what happened, and really tough sledding for the Jenks offense the whole first half.
Man, defense got it going early. I mean, they were able to get it down and was able to make some plays early. And the rest of you see the motion right here. So they step up, quarterback looking down.
Christian Burke had a solid night for Bixby. They jumped out to a 23-0 lead.
Jacob Snyder with that touchdown. Binks comes back. And Jaiden Carroll able to get in. Making a run right here. Look across. 2-point conversion, able to get that one.
Made it 23-15 at that point. Jenks had a chance late in the last minute and a half of this game, but fumbled the ball away. And take a look at the final stats. Pretty tight. By Burke. Direct snap to Presley, right side. Oh, it's Kirby up there helping block for him. He's got a first down and more. He's going to be gone.
Be sure to go to YurView.com/OK for highlights and replays of the Ford Game of the Week. And check out our podcast and past episodes at YurView.com/OK. Stay tuned for tonight's Ford Game of the Week. Mike Ziegenhorn and Rod Thompson will be at Union for the 18th edition of the Mid-First Bank Backyard Bowl. This game is a big rivalry, and you get to check it out at Union's brand new Tuttle Stadium. It's coming up next on Cox's YurView Channel 3. Only the best in Oklahoma, like Jaiden Carroll, make it to Ford High School Weekly. So thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm Deion Amade.
Ford High School Weekly has been brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Oklahoma. And by Rib Crib, smoking good stuff since '92.